This week on Project Superhuman, I'm training with a nasal breathing expert to help me unleash the real secrets of the breath. Can we have energy and create energy within us just through our breath? Let's find out.
Hi.
Hey, how are you? How was your vacation?
It was really nice.
So yeah, thank you so much for helping me on this journey. The whole challenge of this week is for me to basically master breathing and master the superpower that comes when you breathe properly. And because I think that not a lot of people know that breathing can actually be a superpower, right? It can actually give you energy and recharge you and
Yeah.
even put you in a different state of being. So yeah, I'm all yours, I'm all ears, and please guide me.
Yeah, I just find it so interesting that breath work is so underappreciated. Having worked in many clinics, when I will point out to someone, okay, we need to slow down your breathing. Let's work on the breathing. This is what you're supposed to breathe through. The biochemistry, in addition to biomechanics, is so much better when you slow it down so that you can have that interplay with oxygen and carbon dioxide. And then I told you, don't even get me going on nitric oxide, because that's just like fascinating to me.
And from what I've heard, nitric oxide is only available to us when we breathe through our nose for some reason.
Yeah, definitely the sinuses are the primary place that nitric oxide is produced. It's not entirely. The other parts of your body make little bits, but it is the primary source. But also humming. Did I talk to you about humming?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't recall.
Okay, because that's another really cool one for nitric oxide production, to increase it in quite a bit, is by humming. Anything that you oscillate, right? And or probably, I bet the reason that oming, chanting, because you can feel that, just that reverberation, and that also increases nitric oxide production. And it also just relaxes you. I mean, there's so many reasons that humming is how easy. They actually call it Brahmari, bee breath, if you're going to be like, if you're going to go Sanskrit on it, but it's humming. You probably know who Wim Hof is.
Absolutely, I know Wim Hof too, and I was planning to do something with his breathing method, but it's more advanced, so I want to just bring to everyday people who are not even aware of their breath, who might just start out, just to do some small tweaks, and how even that can be a superpower. So yeah, I'm all ears. Let's tell me if there is some technique we can practice on this call, like a short, maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, something that you can share with me that I can use during my weekly challenge to actually activate more of the breath's potential. And I know you shared already with me, I should tape my mouth so I can breathe through my nose during the night. And also I should lower my breath and do this 15-minute, 6 seconds breathing in, 6 seconds breathing out. That significantly lowers the breath count in 1 minute.
Definitely.
So it's gonna be somewhere around 4-5 breaths per minute. So yeah, I will try that. And so is there anything else you can share with me?
Yeah, sure. And so that's just something that naturally happens. But it also, with that, like, if you know brain, right? Your left nostril, and this is proven, scientifically backed, that it will help activate your right hemisphere. This is my left, right? And then vice versa. And so that just naturally, there's this cycling, but you can also get involved with trying to balance that out. Okay, and so what we'll do, I'll just do a couple of rounds, and then we can do it together.
I've also heard that it's connected also to the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. So it's also alternating, making you more, so to say, focused and then relaxed. So when we see that one of our nostrils is kind of like plugged, It's actually your body's way of alternating your modes, like being more focused and then being relaxed. So it's kind of doing its own thing. It's very so this was fascinating when I learned this.
Yeah, no, it's super fascinating. So, and yeah, in yoga lore, this would be your Ida and in your Pingala, and when you have them in balance, you have Shashuma. It's just like going up, it wake up the chain. But yeah, a lot of times we will refer to this as your feminine side, is your left nostril and the right. And so, yes, this is helping activate the parasympathetic, and this is helping activate sympathetic.
Slower breathing, slower breath. For example, most people are taking 7 to 10 breaths per minute, which is a lot. So
Yeah, even more.
maybe even
Like,
more, right?
yeah,
Is there
in
any
medical
study
book.
that links? I don't know. What are the benefits of slower breathing? Is it like longevity or health, better nervous? Like, is there any study that links directly slower breathing with something?
Yes, absolutely. And so I would say the one that jumps to mind for me is we tend to overbreathe. When we breathe too much, we tend to use just chest breathing, the accessory muscles that help the process. But your diaphragm down here, that's your umbrella, right? And so when you inhale, it descends and creates the pressure, the negative pressure that allows the air to come into your lungs. Okay, and so that's just, it's a beautiful inhale. It descends, it gets lower, and then you have more space. Slowing down your breath, you can focus on using your diaphragm more than the accessory muscles. These muscles, they will work, but you tend to, that's when you hyperventilate, and it will ramp up your nervous system, first of all, but you're also offloading too much carbon dioxide. And so that's a beautiful thing to touch upon, is that people tend to think that oxygen is the good guy and carbon dioxide is the bad guy. You know, you breathe in air, O2, you exhale CO2. And it's just not nearly that easy. It's kind of counterintuitive that we do need carbon dioxide, because I like the analogy. You have your red blood cells, right? And they're the ones that bring oxygen to your body. Oxygen on its own can't bind to the red blood cell all that well. It needs carbon dioxide to be on there to kind of change the ability for oxygen to bind to the blood cell, right? And you also need it to let the oxygen off. If you don't have enough CO2, your oxygen does not get on your blood cells, nor does it get off. So CO2 is I like to think of a yin and yang kind of thing. And
Great symbolism.
there's a balance, right? Both in too much bad, right? It's toxic unless there's that interplay between the two. And so people just don't understand, not taught about how carbon dioxide is actually a very important part of the whole biochemistry of breath. And so if you breathe too much, you're off gassing too much CO2. And so you actually aren't getting your oxygen isn't loading on the blood cell or getting off the blood cell, because carbon dioxide is sort of the thing that changes the shape of the cell.
Let me stick with the things that you shared with me. I'm gonna see how this week goes. I will report at the end of the week to see what changed, what didn't, if it didn't change, what is the effect of breathing itself, because I really honestly believe from everything I've read about breathing that in itself is a superpower. And if you master it, you can actually manipulate your body to produce more energy, to heal, to do all different kinds of things. So thank you so much for coming today on this call, for sharing this with me, for coaching me, and for being so kind to take time of your day and your daily life to be here. For 7 days, I worked with a nasal breathing coach, and I tape my mouth every night to make sure I only breathe it through my nose, because I have some issue I breathe through my mouth overnight. And the results, well, to be honest, they're profound. First sleep and I woke up with a clarity I haven't felt in a long time. My dreams were more vivid, almost cinematic, and I felt more rested than ever. Even though I didn't change anything, I just switched to nasal breathing, that single thing upgraded the quality of my rest dramatically. Second, the energy throughout the day was profound. I felt a lot more energized just because I was breathing through my nose. I was doing conscious practice of nasal breathing for at least 10 minutes every hour. And I did this every day, and I tried to lower my breaths per minute to 4 to 5 breaths per minute. I noticed a calmer pulse, more energy, greater focus, greater clarity, and everything because I just switched to nasal breathing and lowered down my breaths per minute count. But here's where it gets even more interesting. I tested myself by going half a day with no food and no coffee, and still I had the same focus and energy levels as before. At times, my focus and energy were even higher, and I didn't take anything. No coffee, no food, yet I had higher energy, greater focus, bigger clarity just because of the way I was breathing. To me, that was mind-blowing. I realized I didn't need external stimulants. I could generate energy internally, simply through the way I breathe. The point wasn't to force myself, but to notice how long I could sustain sharp focus and steady energy just through breath work. And half a day of productivity without food or caffeine, powered only by breathing, is a huge discovery for me, to be honest. This week showed me something simple yet so profound. The way we breathe shapes the way we live. By slowing down my breath, by committing to nasal breathing, I feel calmer, more focused, more alive. When you breathe through your nose, everything else works better. And why, you might ask? Well, because nasal breathing is how the body was designed. The nose filters, warms, and moistens air. It releases nitric oxide, which helps oxygen reach where it's needed in the body. Slower, deeper breaths raise CO2 tolerance, which actually improves oxygen delivery. Hello, Bohr effect. And every exhale nudges your nervous system into recovery. You're not forcing energy, you're freeing it. Think of breath as the universe's oldest rhythm, because it is. Inhale is yang, activation, alertness, heart rate gently rising, and exhale is yin, recovery, release, heart rate softening through vagal tone. Nasal breathing is the bridge, the elegant balance between doing and being. It's like this symbol, and this symbol is everything. Life itself is expansion and return. Inhale, and exhale. When those are balanced, you are balanced. Everything in nature seeks equilibrium. Your body, your mind, your emotions, your spirit are always moving toward balance. Breath is the metronome of that balance. It's the only system that's both automatic and under your control. The bridge between unconscious patterns and conscious choice. Taking control of this bridge means that you are taking control of your own balance. So what did week 11 prove? That you can create energy without reaching for it. Calm the system without sedating it. Focus without forcing it. Align with the rhythm that's been inside you all along. If you master your breath, you master your state. And if you master your state, then you master your life. Next week, we dive deeper into the energy systems and state of being, but for now, remember one thing. Master your breath and you master your energy.